Informacje i materiały edukacyjne zawarte w niniejszym dokumencie mają na celu promowanie ogólnego zrozumienia i dialogu na temat przetwarzania informacji przez GANS. Nie są one przeznaczone ani nie powinny być traktowane jako substytut klinicznego szkolenia, doświadczenia lub osądu profesjonalisty w dziedzinie opieki zdrowotnej. Dla pacjentów i osób indywidualnych informacje te nie zastępują profesjonalnej porady medycznej, terapeutycznej ani opieki zdrowotnej. Nie mogą one być podstawą do podejmowania decyzji dotyczących leków ani innych metod leczenia. Czytelnicy, widzowie i słuchacze powinni zawsze skonsultować się ze swoim lekarzem, a w poważnych przypadkach natychmiast szukać pomocy u służb ratunkowych. Informacje dotyczące recept, procedur oraz stosowania urządzeń medycznych powinny być wykorzystywane wyłącznie przez odpowiednio przeszkolony i certyfikowany personel medyczny. Zastrzegamy sobie wszelkie gwarancje, zarówno wyraźne, jak i domniemane, w tym domniemanie gwarancje przydatności handlowej lub przydatności do określonego celu. Informacje są udostępniane tak, jak są i uważa się je za dokładne w momencie publikacji. Jednak to odbiorca jest odpowiedzialny za ocenę ich prawdziwości. Każdy przedstawiony przypadek dotyczy wyłącznie osoby, która go doświadczyła i nie ma zastosowania do innych osób. Każda osoba mająca problemy zdrowotne powinna zasięgnąć profesjonalnej porady medycznej i skonsultować swoje leczenie z lekarzem. Opisane tutaj procesy balansowania plazmy są naturalnym procesem wspierającym organizm, ale nie zastępują porady lekarskiej ani terapii, którym dana osoba już podlega. Zastrzeżenie. To jest moje prywatne zastrzeżenie, w którym chcę ująć parę wątków. Nie jestem przedstawicielem Fundacji Kesze, a jedynie poszukiwaczem wiedzy, tak jak każdy z nas. W żaden sposób, prowadząc ten program, nie jestem związany z Fundacją Kesze, nie występuję w jej imieniu. Jestem po prostu gospodarzem samego spotkania, z zamiłowania i chęci podzielenia się tak wielką wiedzą i jej pięknem, które każdy z nas posiada na tak wiele różnych sposobów. Wszelkie tłumaczenia są naszą interpretacją tego, co rozumiemy z wątków tłumaczonych. I jakakolwiek moja prywatna działalność jest jedynie moją osobistą formą zrozumienia wiedzy dzielonej przez Fundację Kesze i nie ma, jak i nie powinna mieć żadnego wpływu na interpretację Twoją lub działalność samej fundacji. Jeżeli wypowiadam się w tych nagraniach, są to wypowiedzi oparte o moje zrozumienie, osobiste doświadczenie, co nie znaczy, że MT Kesze miał to samo na myśli podczas nauczania. Dziękuję Wam za Waszą interpretację i zachęcam Was do wypowiedzenia jej na tak wiele różnych sposobów podczas tego spotkania. Witam moi drodzy. Dzisiaj mamy 20 lipca 2025. Kolejne spotkanie polskiej grupy Poszukiwaczy Wiedzy. Dziękuję wszystkim za obecność. I tematem projekcji dzisiejszego spotkania będzie tłumaczenie 597 warsztatu Poszukiwaczy Wiedzy, na który bardzo, bardzo gorąco zapraszam. I dzisiaj w projekcji pomoże mi trochę Dawid, a więc moi drodzy, zapraszam też do obejrzenia całości, ponieważ mamy cały warsztat w pełni tłumaczony.
Forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and wherever you listen to this, is a Knowledge Seekers from Keshe Foundation Spiritual Institute. We're still battling to understand time. We're still trying to see actually what time does to us and how we can use the time to develop structure, understand the working of the universe. Fields travel the span of the universe. They have no identity of location. They have no identity of place, position, and position. They have no identity of the motion or intelligence or enlightenment. Time starts when the two meet, the two times meet, and lead to total structure. Everything has to be in sequence, everything has to be in order for the real time of what we call life starts. Rays travel the span of the universe. They take shape individually. They find a mass which can hold them on in a given space. And when the energy side time comes in, it gives it life. It gives it motion. It gives it existence. In a way, each time created by the structure, it has a heartbeat. And when the two heartbeats meet, creates life. In a way, when you have two connected to each other, you create a dynamic life, human body. When one is out of the sequence, you get a stone. When the two reach a point of balance, we call it death. In a way, when the one does not need the other, but locks into to exist because of the other. We see that in the womb of the mother. An egg and a sperm, two different heartbeats, both having a soul. They come together. But to create a unison soul, they battle it for days and months, maybe weeks, hours, depending on the animal, depending on the creature, till the two decide to have a harmonized heartbeat. This is the time when the actual soul of a child, the time starts. Very much like the soul of physicality and the soul of the man, one is beating different than the other. And when the two become one, the new life in the span of the universe starts. This is when the soul of physicality time become embedded in the soul of the man as an energy time. The point of death. The point the time is over, a new cycle starts. Exactly the same as it happens in the womb of the mother. When the two divide and come to a point, then one unified heartbeat, one unified soul takes over. It's the time when the life, when the real life takes time and position. Then again, it comes to what we call the death of one, the time of separation, the time where what we see, then this single soul within the womb of the mother now has a new position, because now this is an external time which sits within the body of the mother and has to work with the soul of the mother. And when it comes to a point where the two field balances out, one moves in a direction, we call it the physical birth of the man. This is exactly what happens what we call the time of life. We celebrate, this is my birthday, but in fact, this is the birthday time in manifestation of the physicality, where the true birthday of the soul of the man has taken place months before, when one unified soul has started in the womb of the mother. When man realizes this and develops technologies which can see the unison's soul in the interaction of the two souls which entered interaction, that's the time when abortion has to stop. Where there is identity, there is a life, where there is what we call clear decision making as one. This is the time when comes to us, we come to a point, we go now, instead of being in the womb of the mother to get a physical birth, at the point of the maturity, separation, and connection between the soul of physicality of the man and the soul of the man, decide to give birth to a new dimension of position and place where the soul manifests itself in another dimension. That's the time of the birth of the what we call new cycle. How this new soul interacts with the dimension where it manifests itself into creates a new cycle, a new time, a new understanding, and a new waves of fields, balance of fields and radiation, which itself, by its environment, creates a new cycle of life. A star, a galaxy, a dust which has no energy has to be interacted, position, way of closeness to the creator, to the central energy, and the rest of it. This is what gradually time means to man. Man has to understand the way the true birthday of the man comes when the soul is created within the womb of the mother from two separate souls. That's the true birth of the man. This is where we call the birth of Mitra, the children of the Mitra. We birth, we celebrate the time of the birth, not in a physical condition, but in the time when the single soul manifests itself. This is where the individual takes shape. We don't have this with the stone. We don't have this with the trees. We don't have this with anything else, except when there is a true cycle of life is created. We see this in the egg of a chicken. We see this in the whales, in the oceans. We see this when two fishes lay egg on the bed of a rock in the river of life. One creates and one is not in balance with his environment, takes time, leaves the nest, creates a new time. In the coming time, man will understand how and where his soul will start a new life when it separates in balance with the dimension of the energies of the physicality of the man. Nowadays, if you are certain path of Christianity, you have a birthday, and then you have a birth name day, which means if you're born in, let's say, 5th of the month, and your birthday names come 25th or whatever, then you have two birthdays. In fact, man has the same. One is the birth of connection of the two souls to become one in the womb of the mother, which is the actual true birth. And then one, the physical birth, which we see, we celebrate because we are all too physical. Mankind one day will come to understand the limitation of his understanding on the matter state has in a way affected his vision of understanding the totality of the life in the universe. You can put two stones together, create a condition, and the two souls of the two stones will lead to a new life, if man knows how to do. If you create a condition of the place that it releases, creates, or develops the condition that the two souls can meet, then you create the soul of, and then emergence of a new life. This is in fact how some lives on this planet start taking shape. They can be for years on their own, till the condition of the fields of the environment, the place changes, which allows the rotation, the dynamic structure of the life within the structure to start. This is how seeds grow. This is how eggs of fish in the depths of the desert after years suddenly come to life. The change in the field of the place, which allows the motion of the possession and the position. Time starts. It's the same with the soul of the man. Man can be ignorant in the dimension of the enlightenment, and by change of the position and the position leads to motion that it brings in the enlightenment. Now we understand that the time can be dictated, the time can place and position, the time has to be given, and the time needs to be. In the future, as man becomes more aware of the decision making of the creation of the children of Mitra, man will understand which child is born through the soul and which child is born through the physicality. As the soul of the parents, the two decide in this way: I give birth to a child of Mitra. Or it comes out of physical love, which can create a child of the physicality of the man. In so many ways, we see this pattern of work in some cultures, like Chinese. They decide months and years and whatever, they bring their body to be, they eat certain foods, they follow certain patterns, thus they plan in such a day, they create a child. I've seen a few in my time in China. In a way, it's not just the mother prepares the body to receive a child, the father follows the same. We don't understand this tradition in the West. In some sectors of the Chinese culture, both father and mother plan, prepare the body, that the child in the dimension of physicality, when it's conceived, it will be the best. It will be perfect, pure, and in every other sense. In the West, we don't understand this. Then now we understand. But again, that is done on the dimension of the physicality. Man has to learn how to connect to his soul, that it leads out of its physical dimension of interaction to preparation of the soul to be released, and the soul to be interacted. Then this way, you never get children of rapes. Then you see the purity of the children of Mitra. It's not by following a way of eating or a pattern of life. It becomes a pattern of thoughts. You prepare the body to release the energy of the creation and not the physicality of the creation. I made man in the image of myself. I created Mitra to bring the children of me across through the fields of my love and not through my physicality and interaction. Man will understand how time, the place, the position, the emotion The intelligence and the enlightenment have to work together to lead to creation of the perfect soul, that it leads to the creation of the children of Mitra in time appointed and decided by the two souls. Man will know the difference between the time when a child is created out of the emotion, intelligence, and enlightenment, and the child which is created out of the place, the position. The enlightenment of the children of Mitra is totally different than the enlightenment of the children of the man. We got to understand, as man enters the true space technology in the coming time, as we fall in love with other creatures of the universe, as man knows the emotion of love, physical condition to create a child to start the time is impossibility. Then the man, with what he falls in love with, the only chance, the only opportunity for them to create the fruit, the flower of their love, is through the interaction of the fields of emotion, intelligence, and enlightenment, the creation of the children of Mitra. This is why where the time starts, where the two in match lead to creation of a new light, new life. This is why we teach and will bring you to understand how you will interact in the space. When we take the man out of the village of earth, man has to understand the consequence of interaction. Here we see a Chinese interacts with a black, and what beautiful children they make. We see an Asian and European, what beautiful children they make. Now imagine the children of the what we call Mitra, out of the energy where there is no physical interaction, perfection in its every meaning, creation of new time. New life, new understanding. In a way, everything has to be perfect to start a new time. Then you understand the emotion, you understand what intellect you're handling, and then the enlightenment brings you to understand we are equal. We are the same, we are from the same Creator. There is no racism in the space, except comes in the short mind of the man. One day, when the first encounters become as today's encounter of the races of the man, we all see when the children of Mitra walk amongst us. They'll be loved by all, they'll be adored by all, they're educated of all, and they understand that they carry the knowledge of the universe and not just the knowledge of physicality of the man. Mankind has to understand the creation of time, because in time man will be punished by misunderstanding the real true structure of the creation of the life in the universe according to the time of his establishment, according to the time of his cycle, according to the time of his what we call maturity. Man makes children out of interaction of physicality. The Creator makes children out of interaction of fields. does not need physicality. Once we understand this, we can control the transmutation. We can control the transportation. We walk the physicality of the earth to enjoy its dimension, but at the same time, we can transfer into the energy to create a temporary time to travel across the span of the earth, universe, or the unicos. It does not come in the dimension of, it does not come because of, it comes through the process of the interaction. And only of the fields, and no dimension of physicality. Even if you convert your appearance to the dimension of physicality, creating the children of man will become rather impossible, as the blood created carries different dimension and information according to the existence, unless you master the game. Try to understand how you can change the dimension of the fields of the place, position and position, and how you can bring the enlightenment, connect through emotion, and bring intelligence. Then man will be able to conquer not only the life on this planet for everlasting life, but be able to travel the span of the universe and enjoy all its beauties. One simple reason: if you travel the dimension of time, you're stuck with thousands of the light years to get to somewhere, and your life is meager 50, 60 years. Forget the other numbers of millions and hundreds of hours or days ahead. The only way you can travel the span of the universe is through the time of the enlightenment. Everlasting life comes through the energy side and not from the matter side, the dimension of physicality. I made man in the image of myself, and I'm too clever to have a physical image. But man sees it according to his own understanding, and that's why he still believes I'm in the skies and in another position, and is still tricking himself to heaven and hell. It's got to be understood that the time and the energy has a common denominator in time in the what we call the physical side, place, position, and position. And that connection has always been the dimension of the interaction of the emotions. In a way, the yin and yang, in a way, when you sign the infinity loop, on one side is the emotion of the man in the dimension of physicality, and one side is emotion of the man in the dimension of the energy. The emotion is the controller, is the connector between the two. Then it comes for you to understand further where even the time of the sun in the body of the man is either through the emotion. You try, you do everything you like in the dimension of physicality. You call yourself the king, you call yourself a man, you call yourself an ant. It does not make any difference. When the connection between emotion of the physicality and emotion of the soul comes into play, you get cancer, because the emotion of physicality has informed the emotion of the soul. I had enough. Start counting. Find a way for me to go. Breast cancer, prostate cancer, and everything else. In a way, the cancer is the time when the soul of the emotion and the soul of physicality take together. Time of separation. I'm not happy with the physical life. I leave it to you to bring the fields, the energies, which decides the time of separation. Does not matter. If this cancer, we call it cancer of physicality, we call it the cancer of emotion, we call it the cancer of evolution. You call it a cancer, I call it a cancel, which means I cancel my time in the dimension of physicality. I leave it to the dimension of the energy to decide where and how fast. Depending on the depth of the emotion I suffer in the dimension of physicality, I call the time. Time is out. I cannot handle the fields of the emotion, the place, the position. Now the time of the separation is handed over to the soul, or to what we call the energies side of the time of the man. What you eat, how you live, and how you extend that time in the dimension of physicality, which it transfers itself in the dimension of emotion. The true everlasting life comes through the energy side and not through the physicality. Maybe you understand exactly where you stand with yourself. Is the emotion of the soul and the emotion of physicality in harmony? Then man does not need to suffer with disability and all the pains of the late years in the dimension of physicality, where you can live a perfect life to the last minutes when the transition takes place. This is how we see, this is how you see, this is how we observe the existence of this, what we call village of the man. Maybe one day, man will consume the soul of the plants, energy which they don't need. Man consumes the soul of the animals, which their energy is not needed by them. Then man finds out he lives in the dimension of physicality much, much longer than when he consumes the flesh of the animal and the plants and the rest. In a way, self-preservation comes out of understanding the work of the time between the both dimensions. If one day man learns to live through the energies of the universe, man will last thousands of years in the physical dimension of the physicality. Then you'll find out you can transmute across the universe the same way. It's the understanding of the true time. I have a time in the dimension of energy, and I have a time in the dimension of physicality. And if I can work through the dimension of physicality, I can bring the dimension of the soul to be able to let me know, to inform me, to connect with me. That brings me in a position and a place and time where I can enjoy the position, and the what we call the place at the same time. Man calls this a wish. In a way, when you make a wish, you create a slot of time next to, this is my wish. And then when that energy in that slot of time comes to be in balance with the side of the energy side, it manifests itself. We do that with our children. It says, what do you want for your birthday? I wish to have a teddy bear. And then that teddy bear appears on the birthday to complete the wish. Man wishes through the dimension of physicality, and the soul delivers it when the time imbalance of time is perfect. Man's body, the system has built structures to teach this to man, but again, like what we call a dream, man has eluded himself to understand the truth about the dream and the truth about his wishes. As the wish comes out of the emotion side of the man, and then it connects with the emotion side of the soul and the energy of the man. And the rest is to accommodate. How pure the wish is. In the dimension of physicality, we interfere with it. We call it Santa Claus, we call it magic, whatever. But we create that Santa Claus, we create that magic for the child to receive what he wishes. But the soul of the man does that in the dimension of energy for the physicality of the man. How many times in the lowest point and the highest point you have made a wish to do this, to have this, or you made a long wish to achieve something and it comes true. Now you understand the reason. Because you leave it in the hand of the time, of the emotion, of the energy side. And that works in the background to bring you to that point. Is that holding your hand across the time for your wish to come true? Where in the real life, the mother or the father holds your hand to take you to the shop for that teddy bear to appear. We don't see the hands of the soul. We don't see the hands of the emotion. We don't see the hands of the guidance of the energy side, where it takes the man physically across to get that wish done. And we say, I wished it and it happened. Now you understand the process of the wish. You understand the process of a dream. To create a time when it's right for that wish to come true. Now you have to understand the same process. The wish and the dream have come together to create the transmutation of the man, creation of the slot, where the soul of the physicality hands over itself to the dimension of the soul of the man, that he can take man across. To get his wish, to become, to be able to transmute. We drag the soul with us to create new time for it to be, because we control the physicality. In a wish, in a dream, the control is in the hand of the energy side of the emotion. In a way, a hidden friend. In a way, a hidden structure that we denied, and then we live by it because we don't want to accept its existence. It's like a lover we have with ourselves, but we don't introduce it to no one because it's hidden there in his mind. Then you understand how those of you who attended most probably the Lens exhibition, and in some of the points and places in the, what we call monthly teachings or tests and trials, I stay quiet. Because when I interfere, the wish comes through, because I know how the energy of the soul will bring the physicality to see the dream, to have the wish, to go through the cycle. Then you understand how it works. I create a wish, and you bring the physicality of the soul of emotion to create and see the wish. Now you understand what the magic was. Those of you who attended them, in a way, Lynn's exhibition trials, how many of you came in and you sat, and I said, enjoy the time. And after a while I came in and I said, you can go to the moon. I created the wish. I created the energy, and you matched to meet. This is how you have to learn to transmute. This is how you have to learn to create a time for transmutation, to bring the emotion of the physicality and the emotion of the soul of the man, the energy side, in balance to work together, and you transmute. This is the secret. But till you don't understand, till you don't really comprehend the work of your own structure, this becomes impossibility. In the whole of the trial of past 2 or 3 years, I've seen 2 people who can do it. We have a lady from Germany who can wish and receives, and she, without knowing, has understood the process. But she knows a lot. Because the wish in the dimension of physicality and the wish in the dimension of energy matches. Because it's pure, because there is not tainted with something else. We create the time through the wish. It's like you play chess and you push the clock, and the clock has so much to run till the move is made. You need to understand this to be able to transmute. You need to understand this to bring a dimension in the condition of the interaction of physical life on this planet and in space. You need to understand this to be able to feed yourself, that you separate your life in the dimension of physicality and the energy that your die shall not kill. Understanding the separate times in the collection of the existence of the time of the soul will allow you to have many wishes with their own clock ticking in the dimension of the time of the soul of the man and in the dimension of the soul of physicality of the man, which is the matter state condition. It's time to understand the true working of the universe through the time of their own, and not to the time man has created for itself on this planet. Your time is 24 hours a day. The time of the life is the time of the universe from the beginning. And you have to find where you can match this into that, where one side of you works with the time of the universe, what we call the soul, what you call your dream, what you call your wish, and one works in the dimension of physicality. You drag this physical body across every place and position to get to what you wish in the dimension of physicality. You drag the body to a supermarket to get an ice cream because it was the wish of physicality. You cannot drag the soul of the man, the energy side, to go to supermarket to enjoy the same. But if you understood, you sit in the same place, you wish to taste the beauty of the energy of the ice cream, and the soul of the man will provide it. Because you give it the time. I need that taste and the pleasure now. The time starts. and it's a servant to supply, to deliver, to connect, to bring the emotion and the energy. Now maybe you understand more how you can feed yourself in a space and how you can bring the wish to create the condition of the emotion of the physicality. In a way, you bring the energy through the dimension of the universal side and deliver it to the physicality, that it creates the place, the position, and the position. This is how the Creator feeds itself. And when would the man learn? Understand the bigger picture and understand the smaller picture, which creates that short times that allows you to have, you call it a dream, you call it a wish, and then you bring everything to be together. Now, play a game with yourself and you understand how mature you become to connect. Make a wish and go to sleep. Go to your dreamland and see if that wish happens in the dimension of the dream. Then you understand how much you have matured to bring the emotion of physicality connected to the emotion of the energy. I wish I meet my mom tonight. She passed away years ago. And wake up tomorrow morning and see if you remember dreaming about the mom. In fact, you brought the two together. Short fuse to long-term fuse. Your wish becomes the connection between you and the connection with the universal energies. The new headset you see on the screen is developed to create that condition. The wishes of physicality in the dimension of the connection to the soul, that it creates the condition for the manifestation of the wish. The emotion which the wish creates connects to the emotion that the soul connects. We are entering a phase where we bring the dimension of physicality in dimension connection with the universal energies. In a way, you float within the energy of the universe, but you control in the dimension of the energy of the fields of the emotion of the man. You call it in the physicality, I want food. In the dimension of the emotion, you say, I wish food, I wish energy. And then in that emotion of the hunger, you connect to the energies of the soul of the man, which feeds the man. That's why you shall never kill, because you know to leave it to the master to provide. Have you seen how the child jumps when he gets what he wished? That's the dance of the soul of the man when he gives and observes the soul of physicality of the man when he receives his wish. Have you ever wished to see your lover and he or she appears out of nowhere, and how it fulfills you? Then you understand the name of the game. I want, I kill for it. I want, I wish for it. Wish is that time of the fulfillment of the energy side, which brings the satisfaction of physicality. In a way, I set out the field, the strength which I need at this position and time. And the soul will bring it, choose it in places it to be the strength you needed. In the future, I'll teach you more how to play with this wish time. And then you can even bring it to become the dimension of real physical emotion, in touch, in sense, in love, and the rest of it. In a way, I make you a traveler of the transmutation, but within the structure of the field energy of the time, place, and position, where the soul gives a part of it to satisfy the physicality of it. It's not all one way. The knowledge of time, the existence of the wish, and the existence of understanding the emotion is the key for man to be able to travel the span of the universe as a physicality, as limitation of existence. Then you know how to be on the moon within seconds, where they spend billions of dollars to do it in days and hours. Transmutation to the transfer of energy of the emotion. And you can test yourself how much you matured and how much you have developed an understanding of the transmutation and transportation of the energy of the emotion between the two sides, the physical side and the emotional side or the energy side. Try to understand and comprehend the totality. Then man in time will understand the individuality. Understand what I explained about the creation of the soul of the man's child in the womb of the mother, or placing the energy of the soul of the daughter of Mitra within the womb of the mother, where the existing dimension of the environment, the place, leads to creation of the child. The time of the start. In the physical life, you leave an egg and a sperm to balance to create the life. With the children of Mitra, you place the energy fields of the soul of the child, that the environment of the place of the womb of the mother leads to manifestation of the physicality of the child. One is wish, and one is the energy of the dream. If you understood that, then you understand how easy it shall be to create a perfect child. The children of Mitra, anywhere in the universe, as I wish it, and as is created through the time, the span of the position, place, and position to satisfy the wishes of the energy side of the environment of the life. Same outcome, two different opposite dimensions. One placing physicality to create, one placing the energy to create, but the same environment, the womb of the mother. That womb can be an egg, that womb can be a universe, that womb can be a universe. Depends on the energy level which one puts into the wish, into the manifestation of the time that leads to creation of the structure, connection to the bigger time. Try to understand the teaching of today. Then you understand how to create the children of Mitra. Then you understand the connection between your wish and your dream. And then you start learning how to become the transmutation, transportation, and every other dimension that the man wants to travel the span of the universe. Physicality is the donkey. The wish and the energies of the universe is the jumbo jet. You have to choose the time. the wish and the dream, the physicality and the suffering. Then you understand the new dimension of life. Then you understand how what you ignored is actually the tools of your life that you never understood. Wish comes out of emotion. And the emotion is the only connection between the dimension of the physicality and the dimension of the fields of the energy of the universe. You have to time it right, that it matches into the time, and you achieve what we call the ultimate goal, to receive in the dimension of the energy that it transfers, embeds itself in the dimension of physicality, and you receive, and you call it a magic, you call it everything else, but you never understood the connection between the two. In a way, short time of the physicality section given to the time in the energy side, which tries to match. And when it matches, the wish comes true. Depends, you do it in dimension of physicality, or you do it in dimension of the emotion. And when you receive your wish in dimension of physicality, sit down and look back how the energy side came together to bring it that you receive it the way you wanted it in dimension of physicality. Be the food within your body to live, be the meeting of somebody you wished, or receiving something in dimension of physicality that it was your wish. Then it doesn't become a magic. Now you understand the method that it works. You understand the system behind it. We go for a break and we come back. And I hope you understand the connection between your wish and your dreams, as one is the key to the other. Rick, take us for a break and we come back.
Sure thing. Okay, we are back again at the 597th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, Part 2. And as I mentioned, we will have an opportunity to ask questions of Mr. Kesh. And we do have a hand up here, but with Magic. And we will first hear from Mr. Kesh, who always has a few things he would like to let us know about before we begin.
Thank you very much. I have a very good news for all of you who ordered Cosmic Rays that we promised by June, July. Your Cosmic Rays will be underway. All the Cosmic Rays, whatever has been ordered, is completed, and you start seeing to receive all your Cosmic Ray balls. And we thank you for your support. We have a few more pieces left, and then we stop the production. Hold on to these, because you will understand the value of these very, very soon, next year or so. They're worth a lot of energy, and they're worth a lot of money if you know how to play with it. If you're on the physical side, you bought them for other purposes. These are some of the most important investments you ever made. Then we tell you how and why. The cycle is completed. The last pieces has left us, and they should be packaged and sent to what we call every single one you purchased. It took a long time, but it's beautiful what it does. We see a lot of people reporting when they hold the 12 in their hands, and we have a few pieces, I think, left. and we should decide again, maybe sometime in the future, if we're going to produce any more of it, but that was, as we call it, limited edition. Stories, well, and at the same time understand how we teach you how in the future maybe how to replenish them for the purpose of the whatever you use them. We are setting up the July session from now. Those of you who want to join us with a specific structure to do and to be part of. And we would like to complete it at least a week before we usually revisit the last hour because people join in. We want to complete it at least by around about 15th of July. And then we most probably set a structure. We're trying to bring in the transmutation into a whole system that you can feel and go through it. We had a very interesting case of a gentleman joining a last session on Friday and getting annoyed that there was too much snoring going on and he couldn't do anything. It shows that you haven't matured. To transmute, you don't need to be awake. Awakeness is the what I call dimension of the man. The man who was snoring, this is the reason we didn't close it, I didn't interfere, is that did he go through transmutation, left the physicality behind, and the arrogance of the man states that I paid, I have to get, where you actually missed the train. Some of us transmute in the dream time, some of us transmute awakeness, and we still don't get there because we have not made a wish. We just been there expecting to be fed as the habit of the man. In the coming days and weeks, we bring in new dimensions into teaching. As new technologies get evolved, we'll bring part of the transmutation into the Thursday teaching. We'll never tell you, but we will bring in dimensions that many of you start going through the feeling of transmutation to understand it and see how you feel during the time. We don't inform, we don't tell, it's for our data collection in the background, and very few people will see this, what we call use of our technology in the background as we prepare for a bigger dimension and directions in technology development. We're still going out with a request for all of you who have understood and worked deeply with the what we call gas technology, nanotechnology, and different part of the Keshe Foundation work in the past years. We will issue a list of people we would like to join us on a full-time work with the Keshe Foundation worldwide operational market cooperation. We are at that phase, and in the next month or two, as we receive your applications or whatever you know and what you've done, you will receive an invitation to become a full employee of one of the what we call subsidiary of the market corporation on a long-term contract of employment. Placed in a position where you are, it is irrelevant to us. As we set up different structures for different applications. You are in whatever fields you have experience, you can offer us your expertise. We are setting up as of more or less August to employ a massive number of people. Hundreds of thousands of people in the next 12 months will go through process. Knowledge seekers who know how to use the technology, not just because you made cancers or whatever, but you have the expertise in the field of commerce. You have expertise in what we call merger and acquisition. You have expertise in setting up connections between governments that it helps us to work, to bring the position faster. We are there to do. Market cooperation will open an amazing opportunity for many, many people to bring the nations together. And this will start in the next few days, but actual work, if you send us a message that this is my expertise and we offer you a position to join us, do not lose it, because you structure the future of the work. in that section or part of it with the others to bring that about. You're computer analysis, you are AI specialist, whatever you are. Really, you would like to work with us to bring the change. The doors has opened up. Everything is set. And in next maximum 10 days, we start responding to some of you who sent us that this is my expertise and this is what I would like to do and this is what I can do. We want to use your expertise, but it has to work with the ethos of the Keshe Foundation, market cooperation, and a world plan for world peace through technology. Let us know, and in turn, we'll try, if your expertise is needed for us at that time, to call upon you to join us. Usual place, info@keshe.foundation or the Human Resources and Market Corporation. We have seen somebody playing with the shares in the background with the stock market of the market corporation. We know who it is. These are criminals, which they try to make money out of a few cents. This is how they made their money. They came into Keshe Foundation. We know who he is and who they are. It's somebody you know very well, but these are involved in all sorts of corruption and all sorts of things. They push the shares up and down, a few cents up and down. This is their play for the next few days. And then, do not worry about what you see. This is the way one man is playing with buying 100 shares and selling it for you to panic to buy, that it goes higher, and then he sells the shares at a higher price to you. He is somebody we know very well. He's a criminal, and he lives in Los Angeles area. So don't get worried about the shares going up and down. As it goes up, they push it down with 100 shares, 1,000 shares, and then they get you to, and then they sell you at a higher point. Stick to what you are, hold on to your shares, because the magic will start very soon and you'll understand. These people are criminals, and they come with the name of, they came to Keshe Foundation that way, so we know the individuals. Some of you know them very well. We'll go for any questions you have, and if I remember anything, I'll try to answer the questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. I'd like to start with Magic. I think that's the way I would pronounce it. In our attendees here who had a hand up, would you like to open your microphone there, please? Or did you mean to put your hand up?
I think it would be a mistake. Well, you know, he's opened his mic. You open the mic.
Yeah, I'm open. Just as some software troubles. So, hello for everyone. I have a question. It's,
Where are you from? Wait, you're going too fast.
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah, I'm living in Germany, but I come from in Poland. And yeah, just a complicated, long story of life. I want to say hello for everyone. I have a straight question to you, Ran Keshe. So, because I sent it a few times email during the on the address info Keshe.foundation, but no one answered me. And that reason why I'm asked here, because I have an offer to cooperation. I can create any shape, any possible shape, even really complicated, from the mixture of gas and resin. So that's the reason why I try to ask here, because I think so it's really attractive proposition to cooperate, especially in this time when the foundation is begun like a maybe like a more industry time. So that's the reason. So maybe
Wait. Where did you send this?
Info foundation info Keshe.foundation.
Okay. We are looking for people like you. This we're discussing. We have invested thousands into resin and gas. As if you go on the website of the Keshe Foundation, we already sell this product, but we are looking at it in a massive commercialization side because we know what we can do with it. Send an email to info@kesh.foundation. Put on it resin, subject resin. If you do it now, then straight away, we pick it up. We were discussing and we are looking at the resin products, and we want to know what you do. And it's a huge market, and it's something we understood that. Send that to there, and then I'm sure somebody will get in touch with you, 100%.
Okay, thanks a lot. Some details, some technical details I was showing on the reactors group, which one was coordinated by Rick Cramont. So just I try to send now.
Yeah, send it to info@kesh.foundation. Put on it resin, because as you know, we are marketing it. I think Rick, you can show it on the on the store side. A huge amount of time is spent on this, developing this and purchasing the materials and everything else. And so I'll ask for it to be looked at, and then if there is a position, I'm sure you'll get in touch with. They'll get in touch with you immediately.
Okay,
it's something we want to expand. It was done before, but it wasn't done professionally. Now we are. You see the resin material using gases already as a telephone holder.
I saw, but it's this technology. Which one I can offer? We can offer it. Printed materials, so that every can be even multi-layers reactors, whatever.
Let us see, because this has been done before, and many people did it for a while and then they stopped, they failed. But we have a different application for this, and we have invested huge amount of money into this job. And it'll come also as part of the cooperation with Chinese, but if we can look at your option, we will discuss it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Would you like to close the microphone, please?
Yes, I try.
Thank you very much. Okay, Rick, what's next?
Okay, we have a number of questions in our Q&A here. And I have a translation in 2 parts from German. Let's just get this up again here. From Michael Buse. And okay, it goes. Which part's first here? Just a second here. Okay, so he has a proposal to Mr. Kesh and the Kesh Foundations, the Bikini Islands as a joint peace project. Dear Mr. Kesh, dear Kesh Foundation team, dear knowledge seekers, I would like to share a heartfelt impulse today as a possibility for a joint project that could combine healing, return, and global awareness. Many of us remember that you, Mr. Kesh, said that the radiation in Fukushima was neutralized by Kesh Foundation technology. If that was possible, wouldn't it also be conceivable to heal another heavily contaminated area? I'm talking about the Bikini Islands in the Pacific. Over 20 atomic bombs were detonated there starting in 1946. The people were displaced. Their homeland is still considered uninhabitable today, but the Bikini community wants to return. At the same time, there is evidence that they have financial resources through international compensation funds or escrow accounts. They want solutions, they are organized, and would perhaps be interested in working together.
Put us, if you know who they are, put us in touch with them. It is interesting. that we have the technology to do, and we are in position and structure to do so. It's a beautiful idea. If you know access to the people who are decision makers, we can bring this even in conjunction with our work in China to do so. If you have that connection, we can consider it.
He mentions, I would like to present this vision purely as a catalyst in the deep hope it might resonate. If you, Mr. Kesh, give the green light, there will certainly be people or AIs within the KF structure who can examine further steps and, if necessary, establish contact with the Bikinian community.
If you know them, do it. If you're just looking for them,
if expressly requested, I am, of course, willing to contribute my support. So, thanks you from the bottom of his heart.
We have offered this technology to the Iranian government in the event of past 2-3 weeks. The technology has been transferred to the Iranian officials for the same process. But as you know, Iran removed more or less all its nuclear material, and that's why there is no radiation in the very little, if it is, in the, what do you call it, in the structure. We even made everything ready to move into Iran, but such a minimal amount of radiation, if there is anything, that we have the technology, and if it can be tested, we can bring it as part of the structure of the work into most probably the Chinese side. But we need not somebody who everybody knows about this island, but people who are actually decision makers. And don't forget, a lot of people have tried to do things with these people, and it has to be done at this level, at the governmental level, very high than the, what you call, individuals trying to make them aware that this can be done. We are in a lucky position with Markley that the exposure of technology becomes huge. And this allows us to do a lot of things. This is one of the reasons. Since I've taken as the CEO of the Market Corporation, we try to bring the exposure in the right way, that Markley becomes the arms of the peace, interconnecting with governments and bringing all the nations into one. Soon you will understand. Set out a structure for what you understand why we put the Market Corporation in, because if we announce it now, it can bring in a lot of problems to be solved, and a lot of things we are doing stage by stage. But we will achieve a massive step in all dimensions through international policies, through economical structure, and through scientific ways to create what we set out for through the Market Corporation. And this is part of it. And we have already structured exactly how it's going to be done and the way it's going to be. That helps situations like this, or structures like what we saw in Iran in the past few days. What amazed me, and this is what I call the ruthlessness of those who are behind it. When you damage power stations, when you damage a nuclear research center, the way we saw happening, do you actually, if we were not aware of it, if we were not moved everything out of position, the whole of Tehran would have become a nuclear disaster zone, killing hundreds and thousands. So we have to bring that into understanding. We have to change it. We have even intelligence information, that they even tried to drop one of the nuclear bombs into Fado and into Natanz to say that Iranian had the nuclear material in it. But it wasn't agreed by those who sit in the White House. And we were prepared for this. This is a high-level intelligence which Netanyahu considered to hitting Iran nuclear bases with a nuclear bomb, saying that they have a nuclear material. This is how low this guy is, and we are prepared for it. The whole thing is structured for helping these conditions accidentally or deliberately. So you're considering, we have contingencies. If something happens in Ukraine, and if suddenly one of the nuclear reactors runs out, as I explained last time, we have transferred part of the technology to the Iranian officials for any decontamination. As you see, IAEA reports some more or less no radiation because we emptied all our centrifuges days before. They attacked the empty building. And secondly, soon we'll understand, Iran will show the power of the light. The Iranian leaders are waiting for the instruction from the top. When the light shown, there will be no light left. Look into one of the videos which has come out of Israel. It's been reported and heavily deleted by the structure. In one of the main missile landings, a spherical ball has been observed above. A couple of satellites, a couple of people have taken out as a satellite bits in the background. When the structure comes, when the instruction comes, show the light, there will be no light left. This is not still unraveled by the Iranian authorities. And we all know what the light is. And this card, when it's shown, there will be no parallel. And obviously how is handled the decision. And we understand the decision more, especially in the past few days. Why is taken this way? This route has been taken, but it will have an impact internationally when you see the light. And we all know what the light is. The structural work has to be done the way it's set, but you have to understand there's a bigger hand working in the background than what we see in the. Many of you asked us what happened. Is the decision we understand partially why it's been held back, but partially those at the top know that they have requested for the light to be used. Why it's not used is in the hand of the leaders. Nuclear technology, even though advanced, is obsolete when it comes to the light. And there is a reason structurally used this way. This island, if there is a reality, we have a solution. But it has to be done in the right way. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Trevor, who put a question through from Telegram, and it says, Mr. Kesh said that with AI, it's mostly got knowledge from the last 50 years or so. But Trevor says, I am curious with the cosmic ray AI, if it will have ancient knowledge that humanity has denied or forgotten. Mr. Kesh has alluded in the past about humans having abilities that we no longer are aware of. I believe he said something to the degree of being able to split rock with our eyes. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I remember. It was a long time ago. He also said that one of the goals of the technology is to move us back to the point of origin and to undo all the misguided knowledge we have obtained. I wonder how fast this will come back to us with the cosmic ray AI.
There's a picture on the screen. This system is set to do that. Its final design is done, and then you'll understand a lot when you use this on what you call intellectual understanding, connected directly to many, many aspects of life in the space and the knowledge. This unit is going through its final phase. This unit, for the first time, will be shown on the 19th of July in the international conference in Vienna. And we let people to use it, doctors present, can use this and see how the intellect, how it affects their, what we call understanding, and how they get enlightened. We'll bring a number of these into the conference to be tested by the world of psychology and psychiatric department, what we call section of medicine. And does the light enlightenment, or does it fix a lot of things which we have misaligned in our emotion, in our brain? We are not looking for them to see the future. We are looking to see afterwards what the lightness they see in their conduct, connected to the knowledge of the past and universal knowledge. It's a very interesting unit, and is one of the most dynamic systems which we have developed. Then you can see, you can connect to it to tap into the knowledge. Interesting is for us if we can reverse the tapping of this knowledge into the what we call digital form that we can show. In a way, in the future, we can print your emotion. And we can literally convert it that if we can print your enlightenment, what you saw, what you see. But it will show for the first time in 19th of July, this unit will be shown and brought in especially for the world of scientific, world of the psychologists, doctors to test it. Any other question?
Yes, let's get my questions here. Just bear with me a second. Here we go. Okay, we've got that one. Andrea in the Q&A asks, is there any experience with the Twinity microplastic GANs? Thank you.
If you haven't had any feedback, I have to check.
Okay.
first time in 19th of July, this unit will be shown and brought in this way.
The Twinity microplastic GANs. Thank you.
If you haven't had any feedback, I have to check.
Okay. Ike says, good morning, Mr. Kesh. In today's teaching, you said the trees do not manifest out of interaction of fields in the dimension of energy, if I can paraphrase. So does it mean that the interaction of the fields of emotions, intelligence, and enlightenment can only be attained by man, that is, human beings? Hence, the children of the universe can only be born by man?
No, you have to understand it in a different way. The emotion and everything else exists within the plants, with the trees. The dynamic process that the man has connected himself not to be rooted to one place as the vertical people do, allows man to be the best volunteer. And that's what he exactly will work out to be. It's not exclusive to the man. The vertical people decided to root themselves into the ground. If they come in touch or become across that energy package of future that we understand now, maybe they do. But man is the dynamic one. We haven't rooted ourselves, so we travel across. And that's one of the reasons. And that's why man or the animals, like the fish or the cats, are the best volunteers for that. It is to understand the emotion and connection of it and how you interact with it. And trees and plants have emotion, but the place is fixed. There is no dynamic structure with it. So this gives them a limitation of interaction. They only adjust themselves to the environment which they take energy from. And that's why they produce the same thing all the time, repeatedly. Same leaves, the same fruits and everything else. Man is different. Man moves and changes position. And changes position by absorbing different fields. Then man is the one who is outside. Even this is the part of the structure. If you look at the fish, why do they have common characteristics? If you look at the birds, why do they have a common characteristics? And if you look at the animals like man, tiger, lion, or whatever, we all have different characteristics and we compromise one for the other. And this is how we interact with the others. We evolved to make the best opportunity of the conversion and diversity of the fields which is within the structure of, or with the interaction of our soul. It is very interesting. Something which world of science will come to understand one day, why man intellect is grown so fast compared to the other animals. We have a phase which more or less only one or two other creatures on this planet follow. And this is the key to man become intellectually advanced. Never understood, but the main cause, the main reason for man intelligence growing, and we become diversified in intelligence, is our ability to sleep on our back. This process of being able to lie down on our back has given us an advantage, a 0 point, and a field dimension which creates a specific intellect. We don't have any, more or less, animals. Some animals do it for a very short time, but human does it as a continuous process of. We sleep on our back, where the soul has a fixed position support of field energy conversion. We have this habit of bringing our soul in a way very close to the field of the earth, which brings it to 0. Reset. Interaction, conformation, and position. If you follow and understand how our intellect and emotion is directly connected to the way we sleep, where we go into the point of what we call your dream, what I call into the energy side. And as we open the fields of the reduction in the magnetic field of the blood that allows the soul to expand, we connect directly into the what we call soul structure of the planet. In a way we make a twinity set. Direct. If you walk barefoot on the ground, walk barefoot on the grass, walk barefoot on sands, when we go to the sea, we feel good because we create that connection. We don't wear shoes. We connect directly to the 0 point. The only time we connect to the 0 point with our soul is when we lie flat on our back. This creates a condition where more or less there is no interaction except between the soul of the man or the energy of the man and the soul of the planet. This is one of the reasons we fall in love with this planet. This is why we believe in everything it does to us. Because due to our sleep on our back, we have more or less no 0 connection with anything else except it. When we walk vertical, we have the heartbeat, we have everything else in between. When we sleep sideways, or on the, what we call on our side, still our head is not in line. The only time when we lie on our back, where the soul is completely and directly in touch with the ground, this is where we gather information connection. Does not matter if you live on the 100th floor or if you live on the ground, on the soil. Because there's a shortcut system to it. You try to sleep on your back, on the ground, on the beach, on the sand, on the soil, on the grass, and try to go to sleep and wake up and see what's the difference when you sleep in a bed on a mattress with all the springs and everything else in between. Creation of emotion, creation of the separation of the interaction fields. This behavior of the man has given a man a gift unknowingly that allows emotion to be a complex emotion the way we have. And that emotion affects the dimension of physicality and the dimension of the soul, and interaction between the two. Try to understand. It's a beautiful test if you can do it. Get yourself a polyester pillow. Get yourself a feather pillow. And then lie on the ground and try to sleep in 3 phases and see how emotionally you wake up. And then try to understand why man can survive the span of the universe through the interaction of the emotion. And this is sleeping on the back, because the whole of the spinal cord, which is the distribution of the energy, instead of going downwards, it goes sideways. You root into the ground through the interaction of the field of the soul direct. You don't need the intermediary of the nervous system to the ground. Try to understand this, and if you understand and understood the connection between the emotion of physicality and the emotion of the energy, then you understand why man as a race has that advantage compared to the other creatures created on this planet. We move. Our soul moves. The plants have a direct connection one way. They have not developed the side way. We enjoy the vertical and the side way, and we enjoy the flat way. In a way, we spread this field through our neural system in a long route than the vertical route at the same time. And this is part of the intelligence of the man. That's why we are so versatile. That's why we have gathered intellect in a different way. We are emotional in a different way because we sleep on our back. In a way, when we die, the last phases, we always go to that point to say goodbye to the planet. Because we severed that line of connection. There is no more important connection of the man's emotion system control than sleeping on your back. It is not a physical lie down. It's connection of the fields directly into the soul of the planet. We sleep on the physical side, the body of the man with the physicality of the earth, but the connection of the soul energy with the soul of the system. And this brings a specific connection. It brings a specific energy fields, which brings a specific intelligence and understanding and interaction. World of science has not understood the cycle of the sleep on a physical dimension when you sleep on the back. You can test it, go through it, walk it, and then you'll understand exactly when you become aware of how it works. Doesn't matter if you live on a concrete block or you live on the ground and you sleep on the floor. This is how our ancestors through evolution became intellect, separate, more intellectual, more variety, more understanding as we get fed directly by the connection lines to this planet. There is no air in between us. There is nothing else. We connect directly on the back of our head. We're close to our soul. directly with the soul of the planet, directly with the information. And that brings a different intelligence because that is connected to universal fields too. Those of you who have the cosmic ray balls material and you have the headphone units, hold them in your hands. Put your headphone unit, the new ones with the what we call cosmic ray bundles, and lie flat on the ground. And tell us how much you've been enlightened and what's the difference in emotion. Then you understand. Because even if you have the two balls in your hand and you're flat on the soil, you create what we call a star formation between your soul and the two balls on either side of your hand, and on both hands on the inside of your body, and see what emotion that brings, and then you see what enlightenment you receive. There's a lot, but it still needs to understand. Any other question?
Okay, very good. Let me see. Question from Stefania from the Italian community, or perhaps from herself. Could we become our own children of Mithra after we transmute?
No. Simply no. Any other question?
Okay. From Cristiano, a question from the Brazilian community. I read online that sound frequencies are used on farms to change the sex of chicken eggs. Could sound frequencies be used to change the sex of a human fetus during its development?
Oh, no. Sound is a magnetic field, so it does actually, if you think of it, because we talk to our children in the womb of the mother.
You've mentioned that before, that you did with your children.
My children, yeah, I speak to them quite a lot. Especially my first child. Spend hours. Even you lie on the next to your partner or on the belly when you're there, you establish a line. You transfer a lot of knowledge and information. I remember when my wife was pregnant with our first son, I went crazy with him. I used to talk with him hours. My wife is spending more time on my belly talking to him than anything else.
Did you know it was a him at that time?
No.
So you weren't hoping or wishing for a him or her? It was just you were talking directly to the being of that
dimension. I love children. They are my life. My children are source of my, even though they've grown up and they become all arrogance with their whatever they achieve. But I went crazy knowing the love of a child when my sister's first daughter was born. And I love my sister beyond imagination. And her daughter brought me a new dimension of emotion. And I used to go to the hospital in the morning, lunchtime, and in the afternoon. 3-4 times I had a break. I used to end up in the hospital just to see her, just to hold her. That one of the nurses, is he the father of the child? Says, no, it's my brother. And then this emotion carried on to my children. I adore my children, even though they're grown up and they become as arrogant of anything. But you transfer a lot of information to them, a lot of emotion to them, a lot of connection to them. Even you imprint your emotion in them when you do this. But we transfer energy in the same as I said, when you sleep on the ground, you connect to the earth. When you connect to your children and move out about there, you change their structure, even by talking to them. And voice has an effect because it's the energy and it's absorbed. And they don't need a language to understand. And that emotion carries on into their birth time and their lifetime and their cycle of growth. They build a connection, they understand the connection. There is nothing more than love of a father, because the mother is too high the head from the womb. You transfer that energy through the soul when the father is in touch with the child. And this goes through. And this is part of the structure of life. Sound wave has effect, but would it change it? Do we know how to change it? Maybe one day man will try, but there are easier way of doing that. Much, much easier ways. Any other question?
Okay, we have another question in German from Kurt this time, which translates to, "Hello, Mr. Kesh, thank you for everything. Why do so many people fight with illnesses? They fight for their lives. Why does all this happen so unconsciously? How can we bring this into consciousness? Thank you."
Many people, they just pay anything to have one more breath to be alive, one more day to be. It's a love we have for physicality. That's all it is. It's the love we establish for physical world, which brings us to this position. And there's no, it's just the what they call the position, and the place. The time and the feel it creates is too much attached to the land it sleeps on. Nothing else.
Okay, second question from Ike. It says, when I make a wish in the dimension of energy, means I'm asking my soul first for the understanding and acknowledging the energy part of that wish. How can I spot the emotions I gathered in that dream and match it in my physicality to achieve the wish in the physical world?
You have no control. That's the part you have no say. Forget about it. Once you do the wish, which goes to the dimension of the emotion and the soul, you lost control. It's not in your hand. It's the same as behavior. It's the same as reaction to behavior through emotion. It's the same thing. You cannot interpret it, because once it's in the hand of the emotion of the soul, it connects to everything else. I explained this once before, maybe you understand more. It's your emotion, if you want to control it, and it comes to you the way you wished it. It's like going to a restaurant, giving an order to a waiter. The information from the waiter goes to the front desk or whatever who's responsible, then it goes to the chef. Then in the kitchen, other chefs put all the bits of your wishes together and then all put on one plate and manifest in front of you. That's exactly how it works. You have no control who cooks your food, where the potato on the plate came, where the carrot came from, how it was cleaned, how it was washed. But at the end of it, your wish appears on your plate. This is what I ordered. It works exactly the same. When you transfer your wish, or what I call, I wish, then the mind has to do it. It doesn't work that way. You have to understand there's a lot of other bits behind it. When the wish is sincere and is in that point, then it goes to the waiter. The rest of it is for the lot in the back kitchen to put together to appear the plate. And then if it appears exactly the way you wanted, if they understood your order, what you like. You want a steak, medium rare. But medium rare to you is the same medium rare to the chef. You want your pasta al dente, but the guy has got a very strong teeth. To him, uncooked is al dente for him. Then you understand. Everything has to fit before your wish, your plate appears. Depends how many actors are behind it and what it is. And it's exactly the same. You cannot dictate it. Or go in the kitchen and follow the chef. The meat is okay, no, turn it more. I don't want the carrots, I want the peas and the rest of it. That's exactly what a wish is. But you have to understand what I call the time, the emotion, interact, and the enlightenment comes from the kitchen side. Once you put the order out to the waiter, it's not in your hand anymore. And that's what the wish is. Unless you get up and go in the kitchen and cook it the way you want, and 99% you can't get it right anyway. And it's amazing how you remember what it should be and how it should be, and would it trigger the taste, would it trigger the wish, and how close is to the wish, and would you get it right even if you do it yourself. So you have no control of the wish, and if it's too physical, go and do it yourself. And yet,
Okay,
let's call it a day.
okay, perhaps you can help Doug with this. He is asking if there's any update on delivery of the Cosmic Mystery Package.
Oh, all been done. Cosmic Mystery Package is all done. There are a few delays, and those are of the larger orders, the bigger amount, because you heard last week from the lady from Holland. The surprise package was 250, and they received nearly 1,500, 2,000 gift in it. The ones who are delayed are the more value ones, because there's some surprises in there. They had to be made and to be done. It wasn't just putting things together. Some of you receive unbelievable packages, I was told. Much more than what you paid. But more or less, the ones which were not supposed to get a release or didn't get a very, very different ways already have received it. A lot of it's been dispatched. The cosmic ray material is all done. Nothing left to complete with the orders. It's just our shipping. Our shipping are very, very slow. I think a turtle goes faster than we do in our shipping. But this is part of the working with the Keshe Foundation. I think if we rush our people, they have a heart attack if they have to do something too fast. But they do their best, and this is the way. We used to have a shipping department, which we dissolved it because of other factors, and now it's done in a different way. And it should be. You should receive all your materials more. Whatever is finished ships out, unless somebody overlooks it. But don't forget you're dealing with a turtle, not with a rabbit. And I think over years you will have learned. We never rushed to deliver. We delivered as it was done the correct way, or we thought was done the correct way. But I don't think there's anything left from, or it's just waiting to be shipped, or it's in the shipping part. Any other question?
Well, you wanted to...
let me see. I have something very interesting because I asked it to be made. Let me see if I can. See something. I show you if I am still in it. Wait, I show. No. Somehow is not with me here. Let's check with someone else. Oh, wait. I asked for some of the what do you call it, cosmic ray material. I asked a picture of it. It's a nice bundle of them made. All left before it was left. No, I don't have it here. Unfortunately, I'll share it. All the cosmic materials has left the Keshe Foundation. Or has left production, and how the shipping will come. It'll be a process of time. But you should receive all your cosmic rays next week or two, how the shipping goes. Any other question? I received a very nice comment from our people. They say, haha, turtle. Yep. Any other questions? Shall we call it a day?
Well, a couple of hands have popped up with Marinez and Ermgard. I'm not sure if you want to deal with that now, or shall we?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Go ahead, Marinez.
Thank you, Rick. Good day, Mr. Cash. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for the enlightenment, the teachings. Thank you very much, sir. And the question goes to a few weeks ago. You talked about the soul leaving this body, goes to another dimension, and there is a twin soul with it. Does this twin soul also has emotion?
We travel the span of this planet, and we find somebody we physically love and we marry from another nation, culture, or whatever, or even in our city from different area or whatever. We have no say in it. We never felt it. Just was a heart trap, and that's it. And this is it. We choose to live with or become partner, physical partner. It's the same with the soul of the man. We develop the soul within our physical body, but at the point of departure, it finds its own match. It has to have a match. And in a way, till it doesn't find a match, physicality separation is not possible because it always has to have a connection. So yes, always does. And they have to have a connection. They have to have what you call understanding of the field interaction, balance.
So the twin soul has emotion by itself.
Of course, it's from another creature.
And during this life, the person has some inkling of that other soul.
What do you mean?
Is there the moments that he has a flash that he has a soul, twin soul? Just a feeling that there's something else parallel to me.
There's always. I try to explain it in a different way. As much as our soul is connected to the soul of physicality on the field dimension, our soul is connected to other souls through their field interaction. And there is always affinity to a more matching one. I always call it our soul has already got a mistress before it leaves the body of the man. If you understand, it's already connected to. It's not going around looking for someone. It's part of the process of field interaction. So in a way, it already knows who is going to twin with or possibility of connection.
And where does it come from, this twin soul?
It's a combination of interaction of other fields. Where did your soul come from? It's a structure.
So amazing life.
It is.
When we see people ignore it and they're busy with.
We have to. It's the only way we can keep the physical life going. It's the only way we keep the physical life. And we cannot do any other way.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, perhaps we can hear from Irmgard, and then we can wrap it up for you, Mr. Kish.
Yeah.
You were talking about sleeping on one's back. I have for many, many years slept on my stomach. How does that affect whatever the outcome may be?
There's not the outcome, it's just the strength of the field. When we sleep on our front, we have a lot between the soul and the body as a structure, more than what we have with the back.
So it would be useful to learn to sleep on my back?
It's not learning, we always do. It gives a different emotion. You see, when you sleep on your back, it's not just your soul. The whole line of communication, which is your spinal cord, is on the same, what do you call it, field interaction. When you sleep on your front, you have all the intestine to neurosystem to the spine between you and the planet or the earth. You have the heartbeat, which interferes directly. You have the frontal lobe, and the brain structure again interacts. It's different fields. It's got too many interferences.
So it would be useful if I change my habits.
I don't know. Just do it for the pleasure of it, see what the difference is. Because it creates a different position. The interesting thing is when you sleep on the back with your head or whatever, especially on the ground, if you ever fell asleep on the grass on your back, or you fall asleep on on a beach on the sand, if you can remember or you can test it, it brings a massive different emotion. We feel different. I used to go, and I still, even this last weekend, I go for barefoot walk deliberately. Because I know, especially when you walk like on the gravel, some people do it naturally, but some people get like awareness, fear, and emotion with it. Some people just do it naturally. Children run from grass to concrete and sand with no problem. And what we get from it, you walk on a tarmac, you walk on a sand in a normal day, and then walk on the sand during the heat of the, daytime. The emotion is different. The body charge is different. We scientifically has proven we don't see many diseases with people who walk barefoot than the people who walk with shoes. There's a lot of scientific research is done on it. Cholesterol is one of them. Reduction in cholesterol. Scientific research shows people who walk barefoot, does not matter what it is, we see lower cholesterol in them. Diabetic shows a different structure. Barefoot on the concrete floor on the apartment does not do the job. If you walk barefoot in the sea, on the beach, you totally change the whole structure of the pain, with the body. It's not just the salt.
Does it matter if it's freshwater lake?
No, it's irrelevant.
Okay.
It's the way we connect, it's the way we do. And why do some people enjoy certain lakes, attract a lot of people? Because the salinity of the water is very close to the salinity of the body of the man. Why the structure of the sweetwater lakes fish is different than the oceans?
Yeah, it's just we live right next to the Great Lakes and far away from
Which
the
one?
ocean.
Which one?
Well, we are close to Lake Erie and between Lake.
I love Lake Erie. I've been on it. It's beautiful. Yeah, you have a different emotion there.
Right, but I like the ocean better, but we live close to these lakes here,
Yeah.
Lake Michigan. Another question, we have a lot of bipolar people here, and I have some tenants, for instance, who just recently plainly crashed, and I think they're going to using drugs since the our president cut a lot of them funds to medical support through medications for people with emotional problems, and now they
give them Gans emulsion of the zinc with this amino acid, ratio of 4 to 1 with CO2 with this amino acid. You will see the change. And add to it a small amount of magnesium, very, very small amount of magnesium. It brings them stability.
Okay, 4 to 1, 4 CO2 and 1 zinc?
No, 4 zinc, 1 CO2, and very small amount of magnesium. And use all three of them, if you have the amino acid of them, mix it in it. They can take 3 drops on the tongue usually, or just wash it themselves, add it to the salt water, whatever, add it to anything you like. They can wash their head with it, they can do whatever they like. They can keep it in the room, not consume it or touch it. But this has shown a massive change in emotion. Magnesium is an important part of it.
Okay.
Just
Thank
even leave it in the environment, paint their walls with it, it'll give the same effect.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. Any other question?
Well, we can certainly go through more questions, but I'm thinking that you might like to end it now. But let me see. How about from Win, who says, good morning, Mr. Kesh. The magnetic fields are all interconnected through space and time. And what we understand, there's no past and future. Is it right? So is it to connect to the field so we are in position, time, and possession?
We are connected. We are outcome of the past interactions, and we create the future interactions. That's for sure. But we can dictate how we interact in the future. We can elevate our own soul through enlightenment, through understanding of the creation of the fields. And it is the way we perceive our interactions in a physical manner. There is a way that our energy fields interact too. And even they make decisions about how we interact physically. It's as simple as that. Should we call it a day?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Thank you very much for today. We try to be, this is very important for those knowledge seekers which offered us support, and many of you offered us market support. We're trying to find out how we can utilize it because we are the majority shareholder, we cannot interfere. We're trying to find a way to utilize this offer, and we haven't found the proper way for it. And hopefully by next week we tell you how we can do whatever. We get in touch back with you to tell you how we can utilize your support. But at the same time, again, we have put this to OTC that the views of the market shares by one gentleman is causing problem in the market, stock market. And if we can cancel his shares, we will ask that he cannot interfere with the market share holdings. And we will directly involve in cancelling any of his shares into the market. It's legally allowed by, as his abuse and influencing the shares. Be aware that in the next couple of weeks, we will bring a new dimension into the work of the Keshe Foundation and what we've done in the past, and we informed you. And we try to keep that track of work very, very much alive, that the foundation can stand on its own and the way it is and the way it stands. Thank you very much for today, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. And
No fajnie, moi drodzy. Dziękuję Wam za dzisiejsze spotkanie. Myślę, że było bardzo treściwe i bardzo dużo wiedzy w nim. No i co? Jak zwykle, do zobaczenia za tydzień i na przestrzeni.